Welcome to day 2 of Zentangle Project Pack number 29. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria.
And we are working on this next day with a black pen, a pencil, and a tortillon. And just appreciating this material where we've come so far.
Yes.
And the work that Molly did yesterday.
Beautiful.
Just taking a moment to appreciate all of this and this opportunity to spend time together and create something beautiful. Now, just a side note, you'll notice I'm using a PN, which I picked up by mistake. It's not in your project pack. But you can use probably an 03, which I believe is in your project pack. And I'm just extending the length of those little seed shapes from Fife there and putting a little dot so I get a point of reference. And a lot of this, the concept behind this is tangle to tangle. So we're going to find ways of blending one tangle into another here. And I'm going to start with that same seed shape. And just bring it in just like it's part of the other one that Molly did.
Ricky, I love how you really concentrate and draw like you are Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well, concentrate, yes, at least. But I love the focus and feeling the drag of the pen on the paper. And I sort of see a little bit ahead of where the pen is going, and because I want to hit that point there. And it also gives you a chance to focus on the stroke you're doing.
By doing these seed shapes again, coming out of Molly's tangle, you can see how we're going to gradually switch to another tangle and yet connect seamlessly.
And part of the approach of doing this is finding similar shapes in other tangles that might even be in this case, we're going to go from Fife to the Tweed. Fife to Waybop.
Waybop. And
Waybop has this negative space. Now, watch what I do here at the end. We're going to do something very Waybop-y, and we're going to take off from that same arc of one and then land on the other. I'm going to skip one, take off, and land, and then take off and land. So now you can see how we're using that same shape from Fife, but we're taking it in a completely different direction here. Now that I have all of those connected.
Like a horseshoe, right?
It's like a horseshoe, exactly. We're going to aura each one of them. And turning your scroll as you go, whatever is comfortable for your hand, and sort of making it so you can see the line that you're auraing. It can be a little dizzying as I turn this around because I have to move it around like the other stuff here on the table.
So just a little bit of information. Rick does this automatically, and I sort of do too, is that you want the line you're mimicking to be to the left if you're a right-hander, or to the right if you're a left-hander, which, so that you can see the line and your hand doesn't at any point go over it so that you're blindsided.
Right. Even if, it would have been more comfortable for me to draw the arc in the other way, but okay, so there you go. Now this next part is part of the, I guess, the magic trick of Waybop.
Right.
Because we're going to take that, the other part of those little leaf shapes or seed shapes, drawing behind in a hollow bar fashion, and again, connecting them.
It's already magical.
Right?
Simply magical.
Simply magical.
Now he's pretending that there is another horseshoe on the other
On
end.
the other side there, yeah. So again, drawing behind. And you'll see I actually hover over the part I'm drawing behind. So instead of just guessing where it would come out, I'm actually following the flow. So now we aura that.
Going behind the first one.
Going behind. And you can see how, I mean, every class, the first class we teach, we always teach crescent moon to demonstrate the concept of auraing, and then hollow bar to demonstrate the concept of drawing behind. And this tangle is exactly that. It's all about auraing and then drawing behind.
They're such simple concepts,
Yeah.
and yet we don't automatically think that way.
Yeah.
You learn to think that way as an artist.
The other thing this looks like is, back in the day, I'm probably dating myself, but you could go to the hardware store and get these little wire things
Fences?
that you put along the flower bed or something.
The little white ones, and
The
they
little
had
white ones.
sometimes little finials on them
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't know what their purpose was, because they didn't serve any purpose other than lacifying.
Yes. So there we go. We've got a version of Waybop. Now, if you look up Waybop on the app, you can see some of the crazy, awesome directions it goes in. But now, let's look at what we're going to put in those spaces that resonate with or extend from Fife.
I can see Ricky thinking.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't think too hard.
And going to put in some of these lovely orbs, these tipplings. And I start in the middle, and then the other ones just sort of slightly, again, drawing behind, so there's a little bit of overlap. And
so by starting in the middle, you have the focal point in the middle that's coming out at you, and the others are receding. It's such a subtle thing, but it makes it three-dimensional, just these little tiny things.
And you'll also see I'm retracing the bounding line. I'm not keeping it inside, so I'm like going right over it, right? Smushing right up into it.
Is that smushing? Is that a technical term?
In Zentangle it is, yeah.
There you go.
And just enjoying the process. You know, the objective of creating this beautiful piece is not to get it done. I mean, we will get it done at some point, but to really appreciate the, well, for me, it would be like the walk in the woods. The objective is not to finish the walk.
So Ricky's adding these little dark spaces in the interstices that makes the orbs pop out towards you.
And it gives a little nice contrast.
Nice.
So I think I've got those little centerpieces done, and now let's see, what could we put in these other spaces? And I'm going to use the Tangle Betweed.
Which is one of our first tangles.
It's an early tangle,
Yeah. And one of the first magical ones, that you wouldn't expect.
And you'll see I'm like, this is really tiny. If you, again, go on the app and look for examples of Betweed, it's very dynamic and very dimensional. I'm hovering, just making a little bit of a darker tip there. You can see I'm reinforcing it to like emphasize where those go under.
It's like a weaving.
Yeah.
Those harajas. What were those sandals
Oh,
called?
like those thin strips of leather
Yeah,
woven.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it always reminded me of. It's such a simple technique, but it has a beautiful effect.
And you can see I'm just, again, taking my time, really focusing on it. And I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it seems like I'm going really slow. But when I was doing it, it was like, it just felt like the natural rhythm. So you find your natural rhythm. I know Maria's rhythm is very different from mine. So, but just going back and forth. And then we'll do that. And okay. Now you're going to miss it a little bit later, but I'm just extending that concept just a bit into the fife to reinforce that tangle to tangle. And as in all things, there's a rinse and repeat, but you'll notice that I skipped one, okay? And as you're looking at this, I did it on it doesn't really matter, but if you did it differently, but you'll see I did it on the horseshoe, if you will, that was behind the other two horseshoes to either side of it. And I also moved the tile each time I did that. It seems, like probably spent as much time moving the tile as I did tangling.
So never uh, uh, feel like you have to keep up with the same pace. You can press pause.
Yeah.
And so that because for us to watch Rick do this every time, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But so press pause and then just start up again.
And now let's add some graphite. And I'm going into those little orbs and just putting a little smile in from the edge. And then with the tortillon, invite it into the paper, and all of a sudden they look like these little pearls. And then we'll do that on each other one. And remember, we're doing this as a whole composition, so we are shading each element as we go along. But when we get towards the end, know that you can always come back and add, enhance, embellish.
Add love.
Add love. Right, so those look pretty good. And now I want to put some shading on the Waybop. So we'll look at where the Waybop is going under the fife and where it's interweaving with itself or overlapping itself. I always laugh to think somebody's trying to, translate what we're saying,
Yes, I
where
know.
where the Waybop goes under the fife and like, oh, the secret code. And once I've got that graphite down, we'll go in with the tortillon and just invite it out a little bit. And I think you can start to appreciate the interaction of the Waybop, where the orbs are and the fife, and how you see it and how you don't see it. And it's really fun to do an exercise of finding the common points and realizing that those common points can sometimes be the positive space or the negative space. Well, I think we've got those two done. Let's go into the betweed and just emphasize where those leather strips, if you will, would overlap. And I'm sort of doing it individually. And I'm using the graphite that was on the pencil, on the tortillon, but, doing it individually sort of used up all the graphite. So I'm going to play a trick here and push the between behind just by adding some graphite, as you see. And then we'll blend that, and then just use that graphite from those sides and enhance the tweed. So there was enough graphite on either side of the betweed to do that. And I really like the back and forth of the different artists that are doing this. So we have, Molly and Martha and Maria and me going back and forth and creating some really cool things. Too. And Julie, yeah.
Yep.
So thanks for hanging out with us. And we're just getting started. And we're looking forward to seeing what you do. And we will see you.
Looks good so far.
Looks pretty awesome. See you tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye now.
Bye.